Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for this 20-minute bedtime practice. We will be getting started in a seated position. So, if you have a blanket or a stack of blankets to sit on, that can be really helpful. We're going to start out in a cross legged position. So, sit on your blankets to lift your hips up a little higher than your knees. Cross your legs, settle your sit bones in, and close your eyes. Take a moment to notice your breath and let whatever happened today drop away. Whatever you have left on your to-do list, let that go. We'll start to prepare our minds and bodies for a restful night of sleep by slowing our thoughts down, slowing our breathing down. You can open your eyes and walk your hands out in front of you. We'll just do a gentle forward fold. So drop your head down, fold yourself down over your legs and release. Walk your hands back up. Change the cross of your legs so the opposite leg is on top or in front. And then same thing, walk your hands out in front of you, drop your head down and release into a forward fold. Slowly walk your hands back up. Let's take an inhale, stretch your arms out to the sides, reach all the way up, stretch your fingertips long. And as you exhale, drop your right hand down to the mat and stretch your left arm over your ear. You can let your right elbow sink a little closer to the mat as you open your left armpit up to the sky, stretching the entire left side of your body. Inhale, both arms back up, stretch your body long. And drop your left hand down to the mat, stretching your right arm over your ear. Let your left elbow sink down towards the mat as you reach long, creating space between all of your ribs on the right side. Inhale, both arms back up for one last stretch up towards the sky. And release back down. Bring your hands behind you and interlace your fingers behind your back and pull your shoulders back. Gaze slightly up as you squeeze your shoulder blades as tight as you can behind you. And as you do that, try to lift your hands up a little higher towards the sky. Good, and slowly release. Now come into tabletop position on your hands and knees. So take that blanket out from underneath you and make your way to hands and knees. Make sure that your hips are right over your knees. And we're going to walk our hands out to extended puppy. So walk your hands out in front of you on the mat, spread your fingers wide, drop your forehead down, and keep your hips over your knees as you stretch your torso long. Lift your head and slowly walk your hands back. And we'll come into child's pose, starting with knees together. So your glutes are on your heels, knees are together. And in this first version of child's pose, drop your forehead down and keep your arms alongside your legs. So your palms are facing up, forehead is on the mat. Let your shoulders and your arms just release down. Let your torso melt over your legs, really opening up your upper back as you relax down towards the mat. And we'll shift into wide leg child's pose. So bring your knees as wide as your mat. Your big toes are touching behind you. Walk your hands out in front of you. Spread your fingers wide and drop your forehead down. In this position, you've created a little more space for your belly to expand. So take advantage of that by breathing really deeply into your lower abdomen. Let your belly expand, let your lower back expand. Try to slow your thoughts down. Slow your breathing down. Staying right here in this present moment with your breath. Release your tailbone down, release your shoulders. And slowly make your way back up to tabletop. And then we're going to step into a standing position to come into ragdoll. So bring your feet hip distance apart, bend your knees really deeply, grasp your elbows with opposite hands, and then fold down over your legs. In ragdoll, you want the crown of your head to be pointing towards the mat. Let your elbows point towards the mat, and just let your torso drape over your legs so your belly is touching your thighs here. Bend your knees as deeply as you like. Sometimes it feels good to sway from side to side, or you can just let gravity pull your elbows and head down to stretch your back and torso out. And then slowly bring yourself up to standing, coming up one vertebrae at a time, bringing your shoulders and head up last. Come to mountain pose with your feet together. Hands are at your sides, drop your shoulders back and down. We'll do a little balance work here in tree pose. So root your left foot into the floor, and you can put the sole of your foot on your ankle with your toes touching the ground, or you can put it on your shin or your inner thigh, wherever feels comfortable to you today. And bring your hands to touch at heart center. Find one spot in front of you to focus your gaze on, and let your shoulders drop back and down. And take this moment in tree to find a feeling of stillness. You might feel wobbly, but as best you can, just try to feel really still and calm. Lift the crown of your head up towards the sky, finding space in your spine between each vertebrae. And then gently release your right foot down. And we'll switch sides. So root your right foot into the floor. Lift your left foot and place the sole of your left foot wherever you like on the inside of your right leg. Just don't put it right on the inside of your knee. Bring your palms to touch at heart center. Find that spot in front of you to focus on. Lengthen the crown of your head up, cultivating stillness. This is a practice, so your balance will feel a little different every day. You might feel wobbly one day and really still and calm another day. And release your left foot back down to the mat. We'll come back down to the mat, this time in a seated position. So just gently bring yourself down to a seated position. Stretch your legs out long in front of you. Toes are flexed towards you. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. As you exhale, fold forward over your legs, reaching for your feet or your ankles or your shins. Wherever your hands land, just pull yourself down towards your legs. And in this forward fold, the idea is to direct your chest and your chin towards your toes. So you're reaching for your feet with your upper body. Should feel a really nice stretch along the entire back of your legs. And come back up to a seated position. Bend your right knee and cross that right foot over your left leg. So your right foot is flat on the floor. Put your right fingertips behind you. Squeeze your knee into your chest and twist gently around to the right. Gaze is over your right shoulder. Gently twisting your entire spine around to the right. And come back to center, switch legs. So stretch your right leg long. Cross your left foot over your right leg. Left hand goes behind you on the mat. Squeeze your left knee into your chest and gaze over your left shoulder for a gentle spinal twist to the left. Always when you're twisting, try to lengthen your spine on the inhale and then gently twist a little deeper on the exhale. And then gently release, come back to center. Stretch both feet out in front of you again with your toes flexed. We're going to come into a little different forward fold called caterpillar. So relax your arms next to your legs and fold forward over your legs, but this time you're directing your head down towards your knees and your thighs. Let your back round. You're hinging at the hips and just letting your back round over your legs. Instead of trying to reach forward, you're releasing down. This helps stretch your hamstrings out in a little different way. Good, and slowly come up and make your way onto your back. We're going to come into Reclined Pigeon. So release down to your back with your knees bent. Take your right ankle over your left knee. And then reach around with your hands and interlace your fingers on your shin, right underneath your knee, or behind your thigh, whichever is most comfortable. Let your head drop back. Close your eyes. And then slowly start to bring your left knee towards your chest. Just apply a little gentle pressure with your hands to squeeze that knee a little closer to you. Release your shoulders back. Good, and then bring both feet back down to the floor. Take your left ankle over your right knee. Reclined pigeon on the opposite side. Reach your hands around and interlace your fingers on your shin or behind your thigh. Let your head drop back. Close your eyes and squeeze your right knee in towards your chest. Let that left knee just open out to the side. And if you do this every day, you'll find that your hips get a little more open every time. Good, release that, bring both feet back to the mat. Pull your knees into your chest and give them a nice squeeze. And then let your knees open out to the sides, reach in between your legs, grasp the outside of your feet with your hands for happy baby. Let your knees drop down on either side of your torso, and your feet, the soles of your feet, should be facing up towards the ceiling here. And bring your knees together, squeeze them into your chest. Extend your right leg long, keep your left knee squeezed in, and then cross your left knee over to the right for a full body twist. Extend your left arm out to the left. If it's comfortable for your neck, you can roll your head to the left. Your right leg is nice and long. Full body spinal twist here. Pull both knees back into your chest. Extend your left leg long. Keep your right knee bent. Cross your right knee over to the left. Extend your right arm out to the right. Turn your head to gaze at your right hand if that's comfortable for your neck. And as you take this reclined twist, try to let your right shoulder sink back towards the mat. It's fine if it doesn't touch, but just try to let it sink down in that direction. And pull your knees back into your chest one last time. Then bring your feet back down to the mat and bring the soles of your feet together. Open your knees out to the sides. This is Reclined Butterfly or Reclined Goddess. You can put your hands on your belly, or you can bring your hands overhead and grasp opposite elbows, whichever feels good to you. We're moving towards our final relaxation here, so just release into the mat, breathing deeply into your lower abdomen. And then slowly make your way into your final relaxation, into corpse pose or Shavasana. So your feet should be as wide as your mat. Let your arms flop out to the sides, as wide as you like. Close your eyes and we'll take a moment to do a body scan, just to check in and find any tension that we're still holding. So starting with the crown of your head, try to release every little muscle on your scalp, in your forehead, your eyebrows, your eyelids. Let your eyeballs sink back in their sockets. Release your cheeks and your jaw. Relax your tongue, your ears. Move your attention down to your neck. Relax your chest. Let your shoulders melt into the mat. Release your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, all your fingers. Bring your attention to your upper abdomen and then your lower abdomen. Sometimes we're holding tension in places and not even realizing it. So search your hips, your glutes, your lower back, and consciously release as best you can any tightness, any tension. Relax your thighs and your knees, your shins, and your feet, all 10 toes. Just imagine that your entire body is sinking into your mat. You can let everything go. Keeping your eyes closed, gently bring your knees into your chest. Slowly roll over onto your side and bring yourself up to a seated position. Trying to keep that feeling of relaxation and stillness. Once you're seated, bring your hands together at heart center, palms touching. And take one last final breath in your own time. Whenever you're ready, take a deep inhale, filling your lungs, filling your belly. And exhale, releasing all of that breath. I hope you sleep really well tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.